Hey, this is Cameron and welcome to the reaction log. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Alright, we got a very special spicy one here for you. And in fact, today is a very special spicy day because guess what? One of the YouTube guitarists in the Ethernet has made some music. Whoa! What an amazing thing to be blessed with on this Saturday morning, am I right everybody? Ichika Nito has a new album of music, and it was actually posted 11 days ago, so it's not this morning. And I think it would be fun to maybe just go through it, because you know, Ichika Nito had some buzz recently about not actually playing the music he writes, which like, again, I don't care if he can play anything at all. It's all about the notes for me, baby, that's all I care about. And why is that? Why is that, do you think? Well, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I am a classical guitarist here on YouTube. What does it mean to be a classical guitarist? It means that we're all about that paper, if you know what I'm saying, that paper, that sheet music, those black dots on the paper. It's all about that. Everything else is irrelevant. I don't care. I don't know. Oh, and most importantly, I want that paper and black dots to have been written by someone else. Ichika Nito's doing the impossible right now, writing his own music. So, I figure that now would be a good time to just kind of review it. We're gonna go through each one and just see how they make us feel. And I don't know, I feel like this is the only way I would actually listen to any of this music. Because like, I've said this before, Ichika Nito's music, it's not really my thing. That's because I'm not 14 anymore, playing electric guitar in my bedroom with the only pursuit and goal of mine to play scales faster. I don't know, I'm an adult now, I have other stuff going on, I have things that I care about. Like instead of playing one complex melody super duper fast, playing 2 or 3 simpler melodies, kind of slow, but also at the same time. That's more what I care about now. You guys know the expression, you couldn't pay me enough to do something? I would say that you couldn't pay me enough to listen to an Ichika Nito album, but that's not actually true. My price is however much money this video is going to be making. By the way, this video is going to make money. For me to ensure that, I can't play very much of these songs, but I do encourage that you go check out his album on your own, especially if his music is something that you're into. Because, you know, you should support honest artists like Ichika. Let's start this morning with some Ichika Nito. A great way to start any morning. I'm sure this will be a very peaceful way to start things out. Alright, we got 11 tracks on this baby, and the album running time is, I assume, 7 minutes? Let's actually see. Oh no, it's a little more than that. It looks like the longest track is 4 minutes and 37 seconds. I'm Your Ghost. I'm Your Ghost. By the time I'm done listening to the song, I'm gonna be dead, because it's a freaking eternity. And Ichika Nito time, 4:37? Oh my goodness. It looks like these are all titled Official Visualizer. I think that's a stand-in for live take or live performance, like how what used to be in the parentheses there. So it's not that anymore. Official Visualizer, whatever that means. And the only visualization I do is when my teacher tells me to visualize my fugue away from the guitar, and then I do it for 30 seconds, and I'm like, screw this. I am playing guitar now. Alright, let's listen to his album. So, first song, Where I Begin. Oh, dude, heck yeah, we have a poem. In the air before dawn, there was a stillness, as if the world were drifting without yet having any shape. Is this Genesis or something? Heck yeah, dude. I want a little bit of Christianity in my Ichika Nito album. Dude, some anime out there needs to take this for their full soundtrack. It would go pretty hard. I don't know. Whoa! That's the visualizer, I think. The young man slowly opens his eyes and becomes aware of a faint, wordless emotion trembling deep within his chest. So right now, I think we're kind of able to identify this music as program music, which is music that's about something, as opposed to absolute music, which is music that's just about nothing. Or that's at least how I like to describe it. It's really music for music's sake. Figures like Leonard Bernstein were big proponents of like absolute music and not having like silly stories to go along with your symphony or whatever, and just listen to the symphony for what it is. I think this is a nice way to add a little extra for the people who maybe don't yet understand the music you're making, just to give them something to latch onto, because anybody can think about a young man slowly opening his eyes and becoming aware of a faint wordless emotion trembling deep within his chest. Not everyone can make sense of the major 7 chords that we're hearing right now. I guess. I'm just kind of rambling. Alright, we're never gonna get through this. Alright, so it's a sick major 7, whatever. Let's keep going. You know, I'm hearing the harmonics and stuff, but I'm not seeing the crazy acrobatics to get there. So I'm just kind of left wondering, like, what's the point of it, right? If you can't see how hard it is to play, was it even hard to play? And then what's the point of the music? I don't know. Questions to ask yourself. That should be the next poem. Nice tone. The young man made no effort to stop the ambiguous shaking. The ambiguous shaking? He simply watched it quietly. I'm literally shaking right now. The sense of something... I'm just reading the thing. The sense of something about to begin appeared only at dawn. Okay, we get this song. No matter how lost he became in the passing days, the moment alone arrived just the same, and the subtle trembling stirred within him. Dude, this guy is just shaking like a MFer over here. Can't help himself. He's going through like withdrawals or something. He felt as though it wasn't his own will. Something was calling him back. Yeah, that's how I feel whenever I make a video about this kind of stuff. Even if he couldn't see where he was headed, each day always began here. Okay, I think we understand this song. So it's a nice little like, you know, just next one. Lost Stars. Ooh, different stuff. Okay. I'm glad to hear there's going to be a variety of timbre in this album. I think that's a nylon string too. Okay. Ah, dude, there's so much reading. I swear to God, I'm in a master's degree program and I do so much freaking reading. And Ichika's making me read more. The king, oh, the frickin' king went up alone to the tower of the castle every night. What a dork. He went alone. That's so lame. Not to govern the kingdom, nor to show his authority, but to frickin' practice guitar. But simply to confirm why he himself was standing in that place. Ugh. Class, let's discuss this. What do you think it means when the king goes up to the castle? Finally, some energy. It's the morning time for me. I need a little something right now. I can turn that up. Alright, this one's pretty fun. Let's see if it goes anywhere. Oh man, I would have loved this when I was 14. I'm telling you. 14-year-olds are tearing this up right now. That night, a small light glimmered in the corner of the tower. A young girl sat there, spreading out a small, broken star chart. Is this AI? This better not be AI. Alright, it's like a fun, fast-paced Mario Kart style tune, which I love, by the way. Great sound, great vibes in this one. If you're going to listen to like techno-y, like dubstep-y, whatever, like electronic music, at least the guitar timbre is pretty prominent in this, so I'd be okay with my children listening to that. Nice, fast-paced beat. That's kind of what this music calls for. You want it to be as fast as possible, as funky as possible, grooving. I'm cool with all this. Alright, song 3, Echo. Lives up to its name. Hey, why punch in the notes? Just use the same note over and over again, guys. Oh, heck yeah. In that town, the streetlights of the town were lit one by hand at night in the town, not by machines, not by fire in the town, but by stones embedded along the roadside of the town that glows when touched by the people of the town. Alright. The town's light person's job is to walk the streets of the town each evening and to light up those lights of the town. Fake out, alright. From one end of the town to the other end of the town, they tap each stone in the town gently with a small mallet, kindling its glow to light the town. With every soft tap, the stone shimmered like a quiet white breath in the town. Dude, this town was lit up. One night while making their rounds, the light person found a child sitting on the side of the road. What's wrong, they asked. The town's child was holding a stone that would not glow, staring down at it in the town. No matter how many times I tap this one, it won't light up. There's a competition tomorrow, but I'm too scared to practice. Competition for what? Lighting up stones? Okay, alright. I am not in the headspace to be reading and interpreting poetry right now. I'm sorry, guys. The only thing I have in my arsenal is just making fun of it. I'm lame for that. Alright, let's skip this one. So far, it's like fun party music involving the guitar. Again, I keep having this question with these guitarists because it seems like they're kind of moving away from playing in bands and stuff. I wonder if they didn't play guitar, if they would even involve guitar so heavily in their music. Because I feel like they just want to be EDM producers, you know? They seem much more interested in all the other stuff that's not guitar. I guess the moral of that story is I'd want everyone to know that you can make whatever music you want to make, and just because you play an instrument doesn't mean you have to involve that instrument. And you don't have to feel ashamed of, like, making something that doesn't involve it either. I need more coffee. I'm gonna get more. And then we're gonna go to song 4. Dude, this town is getting lit up. Oh my goodness. Alright, this one's called La Nut. What is that? Yeah, something like that. Oh! Alright, we got some chromatic lines, kind of mysterious, sort of reminds me of like James Bond or something. I just love you in so many ways. Alright, we're listening to rap in our ears, and then we're also reading separate poetry. It was said that in this town there was a town and someone who has only appeared at night in the town. No townspeople knew her name. The townspeople simply called her Daughter of the Night of the town. Okay. Sorry, I don't know. I'm so sorry, Ichika. She only appeared when the moon was high and sometimes danced alone at a street corner. Oh, I have a lady like that in my town too. That's fun. Though in that situation, it's not the moon that was high. Alright. Though to call it dancing, there was no music. Yeah, it's the same situation. Only around her a rhythm flowed that no one else could hear. That's certainly a way to describe it. The man could never forget the night he first saw her. Aww. Is this a love story now? Hey. Lights flickered faintly in a dark alley. When he walked along to follow it, he saw the hem of a pale black dress weaving in the moonlight. Man, the imagery is off the charts right now. Pale black dress. My brain can't even conceptualize that. Just Ichika shredding back there. Oh yeah, I haven't really listened to any of the music. Alright, so this is like a hip-hop beat with guitar over it, which, like, I don't know, is cool. I think we can move on, though. Again, I'm not playing that much of each one, because we don't really need to hear that much. We're just getting vibes of the album, and I implore you to go listen to it on YouTube. There we go. This is what I want right here. Yeah. This is more reminiscent of like the earlier Polyphia stuff, and kind of I feel like what Ichika would maybe do before this album, where it was less like techno-y. I'm hearing more of a band right now. I want to hear some like technical metal. We're getting a little more insight here. The town was driven by enormous gears, dude, heck yeah. Rotor wings spun on the rooftops of the buildings and countless shafts ran beneath the ground. Oh, this is actually getting kind of epic. From the slightest shift in vibration, everyone who lived there could tell what kind of mood the town was in that day. Dang, dude, the protagonist was a mechanic. We're not even getting to the protag until song 5. Dude, this is like a Tarantino movie. I'm freaking enjoying this. Every morning, he began his work by checking the tall central pillar. As he pressed his ear against it, just as he always does, he sensed something unusual. We have, like, new plot now? Heck yeah. The supposedly regular sound of rotation of the gears held a faint bouncing tremor. It wasn't a breakdown nor a malfunction. It simply felt as if part of the town were restless. Oh, dude, I bet they're gonna bring the pale black dress girl back, too. Oh, dude, if he brings that back in, like, the second or last song or so, I'm gonna be Team Ichika after that. You gotta bring it back, though. Okay. Also, I like this song the best because it sounds like guitar, and it's, like, metal and technical and stuff. Kind of genty and a little rhythmic. I like it. Kind of sounds like something Giacomo Toro would steal from Ichika. Alright, took out his tools, looked for the cause, doesn't matter. Let's skip a little bit of the plot. Let's actually move on. I don't want to give away too much of this album. Hey! We know this one. Alright. When the night fell, all the lights of the town flickered just at once, as if it was signaling something, or perhaps saying goodbye. No! Alright. No matter how beautiful, no matter how awkward, there are forms, true forms, that exist only in the very moments of change. Alright, we're getting pretty esoteric. Let's keep going. Next song, I'm Your Ghost. Oh god, this one's gonna freaking take forever. Yeah. Hey, same thing with just because you play guitar, you don't necessarily need to make guitar music all the time. Just because you have a voice doesn't mean that you need to be singing, alright? Yeah. It just sounds like AI vocals, oh my god. Like, not that it shouldn't. This is highly processed, like, basically techno music involving a guitar in a way that's not even that obvious. Like, a lot of the guitars sound like synth. So I'm not even saying that it shouldn't sound like highly processed. I'm just making a comment about it because, you know, I'm a douchebag. In that town, we missed it. Oh, this is a long one. The voice is left alone, mixed with the wind, and drifted through the streets as tiny particles of light. You couldn't touch them or catch them, yet sometimes, suddenly, they can be heard, not by the ears, but deep in the heart. Dude, heck yeah. I'm sure that if you listened to this whole thing and read all of the poems in succession, you would probably walk away from this and gain something kind of meaningful. Because this is like a high effort art project that Ichika is putting out for us. So that's pretty cool. I'm not really respecting it right now, but I do respect that he put a lot of time into this clearly. And it's pretty cool. It's kind of like a movie or something, except it's an album with poetry, which is a fun idea. I like that. But I believe if you really went through this and set aside like 30 minutes or whatever to actually do it, you would find yourself getting into it and sort of losing yourself in the story and all that. Similar to how you would if you're watching TV or a movie, I bet. Because I felt myself losing myself a little bit, especially when the gears started coming in with the town, where it's like, what is this, some like anime right now? This is sick. So, you know, again, you should do this on your own. It's another song one, basically. That's fine. Ichika cranks those out like no one's business, so of course there's going to be a couple. Same story for this one. Major sevens. In that town, there's an old saying, when someone sheds tear, their shadow becomes lighter. I think that town was getting a little too high with the moon, if you know what I'm saying. Tears weren't a sign of weakness. They were, okay, well, let's not, fans back at home, tears are a sign of weakness. I better not catch any of you crying. There's no crying in classical guitar. They were the only way to release the weight that built up inside a person's shadow. Don't you dare say that to me, Ichika. Don't you dare make me cry right now. Kind of felt that line, too, because I've been under a lot of stress. My shadow's so heavy. In this town, there is a craftsman called Shadow Weaver. That's a guy in the town where you just go into his room and you just cry in front of him. He was a craftsman who shaped people's shadows, maintained their shape, and repair any distortions. Dude, this is epic. Oh my god. Song's kinda lame. Poem's getting sick, though. A boy looked down. He didn't have the courage to shed tears. We'll call him Sore Hands. Not, like, I have the courage to do anything, but I don't shed tears because I have so much courage. After some hesitation, the Shadow Weaver remembered a technique. He just freaking pummels him in the face. You're gonna cry now, you little kid? When I loosen a shadow, sometimes the owner's memories leak out as sound. If you're willing to listen, I might be able to lighten it a little. The boy nodded faintly. You better not make me frickin' cry. As the Shadow Weaver began loosening the shadow with the thread of light, a soft sound seeped into the air. Not a voice, more like a vibration, but he could hear it clearly, the muted tones of everything the boy had locked deep inside. Stop it. Don't you dare do this to me. It's gonna somehow get really specific to my life, and I'm just gonna weep on this episode. The days that hurt, the moments that stung with regret, all the negative comments you read. Everyone's saying that you'll never be as good as Antoine or Marcin or Ichika. The words that he couldn't tell anyone and forced down into his chest. The boy listened, biting his lip. Okay. Then one sound rose stronger than the rest. It was the sound of a pinch harmonic. The night he should have cried but couldn't. At that moment, the boy's shoulders slightly trembled. It wasn't tears that touched his cheek, but the dampness of the night carried by the wind. Close enough. Still, the Shadow Weaver knew the boy's shadow had just become a little lighter. He hadn't cried, but he had wanted to. He found a loophole. How can I lighten my shadow without actually crying and looking like a baby? Because obviously I'm not a crybaby. I've never cried in my freaking life. But my shadow is getting really heavy. Not that that's a problem, because I'm super strong and courageous. But, you know, it would be nice to have a lighter shadow. And that alone could change a shadow, putting away the thread of light. The shadow weaver spoke softly. Tears, they don't change you when they fall. They change you the moment you try to let them. I'm not listening. I'm not listening. All right. Hey, it's the same song again. Cool. Oh, it's like another AI voice song. If this isn't AI vocals, like, maybe it should be, because it sounds exactly like it. So, like, why not just do it at that point? Because the product's going to be the same. You don't want to use AI when it makes the product worse, right? I don't know. All right, last song. The conclusion. It's the same song again. Oh, thank God, some freaking poetry. Faint light began to seep into the room before dawn once again. The young man woke at the same hour as always, a time before the world had fully taken shape. Outside the window, the sky was fixed in a color that was neither blue nor gray. Well, there was a lot of other options besides those, I guess. In his chest, several sensations rested gently on top of one another. The trembling hand of someone trying to record a night when a star had fallen, afraid that the memory might slip away. A child sitting alone in a dark road, and the face of the person who quietly handed them a small, glowing light. Oh my God. I'm so invested now. The music's the same. I have nothing to say on the music. The footsteps of someone who kept moving towards a dancer of the night, who never looked back. The mechanic pushed forward by the town's heartbeat, running towards a path no one had ever walked. A traveler who looked up at a moon that would never return to its old shape, and walked on anyway. Even though it had lost its form, the voice still guided someone forward. Awesome. Soulful. Let me see. Okay, I don't really care. Let's get to the real conclusion. Oh man, they want us to read a book. Hey, well, you know what? I'm not going to include the conclusion to that in this video. If you want that, you can go and listen to his album, which you should, because I don't want to be a complete grifter. So, you know, Ichika's album. Hey, you know what? I'll post a link to it. I usually never do that. I might forget to do it, but I'm gonna do that. Listen, I crack a lot of jokes here, but it is nice to see somebody just make some music. Because making music's important, you know? Like, we play all of our classical tunes, and it's great stuff that we play, but it's also old stuff. That's something to keep in mind. And all these composers that we like, even Bach, you know? Bach was just kind of writing music in a style that he was discovering too, and sort of finding his own voice in that way. And we know it as this established formal thing now with all these rules. But, you know, to him, he was just kind of doing what he thought felt right. Like, he was using his ear. So, I encourage you all to go write your own music. Go write some stuff. Everyone should feel like they have permission to do that. Because I know sometimes with music writing, you feel like you need all these prerequisites and stuff. No, just write anything. It can be anything at all. And just use your ear. That's the greatest thing that you have. Because your ear is you. You know, you might not be able to make music that sounds exactly like Bach or whoever or whatever, but you can make music that you would like, which is important. When you die one day, that will be what is left. Your taste and your style, the music you write, the recordings that you make, the albums that you make, the reaction videos you make, for better or for worse, that's going to be one of the biggest footprints that I have. And how do I feel about that? I feel proud about that, actually. I'm going to go practice guitar now. I hope you do the same, and let's go ahead and wrap this one up here. Of course, if you made it this far, be sure to subscribe and leave a like. Hey, there's a sale on Rutan's Delight, so it is Valentine's Day, which, happy Valentine's Day everyone who's watching the day of. There's a Valentine's Day sale, so go ahead and pick up your merch if you want it. Guitar lessons, I don't offer them. Maybe, like, don't send me an email about that for now, because I'm kind of not even getting to them. I'm sorry. You don't even know how freaking busy I am. My life is a disaster right now. Like, videos, I have no backlog. I film them and edit them, like, the day of. Like, I am a terrible YouTuber. I am fighting tooth and nail to keep this schedule up, and I will keep it up for you, because I know, like, you listening right now, you maybe don't rely on this, but I know that there are people out there, they email me, and they're thankful, and my videos are like a highlight of their day, and I just want to keep this thing going. So, you know, despite how freaking insanely busy I am, I want to be here for you. That's what I'm doing. And yeah, Ichika Nito's album. Would you have listened to that without me? Probably not. I certainly wouldn't have. But do go check it out. It has a fun story. The music, it was alright. I didn't really say much about it, but it's like Ichika's style with, you know, the electronics and all that. It's not my bag, but maybe it's yours. Well, alright. I'll see you in the next one.